Hey everybody, and it's Black Spring on your Friday. And today we're doing something a little bit different on Black Spring with Autumn, and I will tell you right away that I have provided the actual link if you would like to join me on the actual live stream. This is via StreamYard that this is provided. This is via StreamYard. Also, if you would like to engage in this discourse today, we're going to actually start with more of a we'll have some house rules of engagement. Hi Chris TV, welcome in. And I'll just go ahead and give you just a little bit of brief, like, the topic of this stream is America ready for the end of capitalism. So it's a very broad, of course, it's a very broad topic, a very broad setup, but I think, we can get some points in, and I just asked that the house rule of engagement on this particular setup is, like, we avoid mentioning the actual pandemic in this stream. I am not monetized, but I do think that it's something that many YouTubers or people that are using YouTube are avoiding, the actual global pandemic, if you will. So we're going to try to remain from actually using that name. If you decide to jump on, or if you want to chat, you can do either one. I am actually broadcasting this on StreamYard as well, so I'm not sure if anybody can see me on StreamYard, but it's the same type of house rules of engagement that are on the StreamYard platform. So we'll just see. Also, the link is there if you are interested. If you're interested in hopping on to this particular stream. So I'll put that there so you can say, so welcome everybody. If you are here, if you're listening from work, I'd like to thank you for using your break time or your lunch time to be a part of this, So just for one, I mean, there's just a few questions that kind of come to mind, and I'd like to hear what you think, of course. For one, the question is, it comes to me, it appears to me that, it appears that this could even, is this a warning? Is this a warning that America has before the destruction of what we've all known, or what generations of America has known as actual capitalism? I mean, what's the alternative? I mean, we've already been presented with the alternative, and that comes from the likes of, hi Patrick James Forums, thank you for tuning in. And that, of course, that comes from, we've heard of what the alternative is, and whether you want to call them the left, whatever you want to call them, that's been offered to you. It's been presented to you by the likes of the populist, like the AOCs and the Bernie Sanders and all of these globalist funded entities. They've already proposed what they would like to replace capitalism with. Of course, it's, to me, it's no less than maybe a bit of a Bolshevik style, consolidation of capitalist landlords. I've done other videos on 1936, Stalin's Constitution. And I'm bringing up, Sanders and Biden, because I do believe that there is another debate coming up where I think it's just going to be those two men, Joe Biden, which he wants to, that's a bit of their shadow, that's their shadow moderate, if you will. And then you have Bernie Sanders, who is the socialist, and if not worse, the communist in the running here. So, there you have it. I think it's pretty well primed that they're both hiding under the guises of they're hiding under, two two totally different governments. One's hiding under socialism. Oh, America can do it better, or America, a democratic socialism is better than what the previous governments and the previous empires failed to do with socialism. The other one is basically a lover of, pull out your tin hat, the New World Order. I mean, he's quoted for having, a speech or an article, and he's even given speeches on the idea. So, I mean, I'm just thinking, this is really not, I still find it staggering that many people are not awake, or they're ignoring the fact that we already have examples of this type of, squash of freedom already. I mean, you just look at, we've talked about in other streams, we've talked about, what in globalization, what's necessary in globalizations, and we already have them. There's radical changes. We already have the examples of globalism. For one, we talked about the destabilization and removal of sovereignty from Western nation states. Okay, well, we also talked about, the Pope called for that near the end or in the fall of 2019. Whether you're Catholic or not, all of these entities influence, you know, government and the world that we live in. The second thing, we mentioned the establishment of an essentially fascist world government under the direct control of a capitalist elite. And then three, the greatly accelerated exploitation and suppression of third world. And then the fourth would be the gradual downgrading of Western living conditions towards third world standards. And by these means, the elites hope to achieve another round of capital growth. So I think we have in those four examples, I think we've seen at least 2 to 3, or we've at least seen pieces of all 4 of them. It's just we don't know who's going to be that elite. I mean, I hate to say it, who's going to run the world? Who's going to run which of these people would like to represent that and I'm not talking about President Trump. I'm talking about the two people on the opposite side, to me, that best represent either a new world order or that want to reach this whole spectrum, or this whole scope of elite standing or new world order. And to me, it does not, we're talking about capitalism versus socialism. And of course, in the capitalism, you have less government. And then, of course, you have the opposite when you're dealing with socialism, which one person is saying one thing, which would be Biden would be saying one thing. Meanwhile, he totally tramples, sovereignty all the time. People talk about gaffes, but, he's just told outright lies. You can find, it's like people have, their memory's fickle, or they forget the amounts of speeches and the amounts of calls that many of our leaders have made for New World Order. It wouldn't just be Biden. It would be even previous administrations, even going back into the 60s and even before that. So I'm just saying, I'd love to hear from anybody what your thoughts are on this particular matter, what we're seeing right now. Yeah, let me know what you're seeing. Hi. Yeah, so like I said, I'm trying to see, I don't know if anybody is able to see this on, yes. I have 2 streams going. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I have 2 streams going on here. So yeah, I have one on StreamYard. That's the one where you can pop on if you're interested. And then the other one is on YouTube. So I did provide the actual StreamYard link if you're interested in doing that. So let me know, and I'll probably eliminate one of these depending on what responses that I get. So what do you guys think here again? Like, I'm not sure what you're seeing. Are you seeing, I guess, more, I guess, economically, whether we're talking like stocks or 401ks, or are you seeing demands? I mean, some people, I have friends that are truck drivers. Are they ramping? I mean, are people that are in that work in, whether they're ramping up production in certain places because items are running out? I mean, that's whether you're doing toilet paper or whether you're doing hand sanitizers. So yeah, I'd just like to know what's going on, or what you see, or do you think does anybody actually think that, this is a snapshot into, can you imagine like not having, can you imagine a quarantine that would last for 4 weeks, that would last beyond what's already, that we cannot foresee? And then would there be a recovery? I know that, of course, that the stocks are pretty volatile right now. They're up, they're down. Of course, yeah, a recession. What would another recession look like? And, how is this going to actually affect, going into November? These kinds of questions are, I mean, no one actually knows these answers, but I think there's enough going on that it gives people pause, and that, people are curious, are you going to be able to function? Do you have enough food to eat? Do you have water? I mean, would it come down to, the government providing us with these essentials? Would we be standing in a line requesting items because the production is down? That there's, this is not a fear mongering or a negative Nancy stream. It's just, this is more about preparation. And some people don't, they confuse the two. They confuse fear mongering with preparation. It takes manpower. It takes manpower to run a bank. It takes manpower to stock shelves. It takes manpower to drive trucks. It takes manpower to fill gas tanks. All of these kinds of questions. So that's part of my inspiration for this particular stream. So yeah, let me know what you think. And I'm seeing two people in the YouTube stream. And I think I still have one in the actual StreamYard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel this is somewhat of a test, but also I'm working out some technology and trying to figure out some hacks for enhancing things going forward. So I'm going to actually end the StreamYard cast without the interest there. I do have there will be a guest coming up, and I will reveal who that guest will be pretty soon. Also, if you're interested, I mean, of course, I have Black Spring with Autumn at Gmail. So you can always reach out to me there if you're interested in participating in a panel, or if there's a specific topic that you'd like to engage in. Of course, I'd love to hear from you on that. I mean, I could do a reference on this particular stream, but there's lots. I mean, so just say, for instance, like, now this comes from the bcg.com publication. I'm going to give you a little bit on this. Now, this is coming from a 2016 kind of an article. It talks about, is globalization over? Some commentators consider the United Kingdom's vote to leave the European Union to be a sign that it is. The decision, known as Brexit, keep in mind this is 2016, is seeing a reversing the trend toward greater global integration. Historically, globalization or progressively closer global economic integration has been driven by trade-off favoring global economics over local politics. This has resulted in the growth of foreign direct investment and global trade, greater labor mobility, and ultimately higher economic growth around the world. So we all know that I do believe that I saw something from Boris Johnson yesterday, because this kind of goes into a bit of Brexit, that Brexit had certainly thrown its markets, exchange rates, and consumer confidence into turmoil. But the model of globalization that has developed over the past 200 years started showing signs of change well before the referendum. So I'm just thinking that with this being a global pandemic, I think that it's certainly worth taking a second look. Uh-oh. Let's see. I hope everybody's still here. I think I made a little bit of a shutdown here. That was not supposed to happen. Let's see. I did a little bit of a shutdown there. Let's see. I think I may have. Oh, no, maybe I didn't. So if you're still there, I think I had a bit of a mistake there. I closed the window, and I didn't mean to close the window out. Hopefully it's still going, because I didn't actually end the stream, but I think I closed the window. Sorry about this, guys. I apologize. Running too many hacks. Let's see what's actually happened here. So it looks like this one's still going. Okay. Sorry about that. If I lost anybody on that one, I apologize. But yeah, so I don't know if anybody has any updates on any of, like, anything that's specifically that's going on with the UK right now, or how are they responding to the actual global pandemic. In fact, I will take a look at it right now. I will find my reference. This is not exactly where I was going, but I'll definitely keep going. So we had Boris Johnson, and yeah, so I said, yeah, there again, I said I wasn't going to talk about the actual pandemic, but it seems like I've managed to wrap myself back into it. But I will tell you the comments from Johnson. It does say that the country will get through the epidemic just as it has got through many tougher experiences before. So it looks like, I think that perhaps that the President Trump and Johnson, they kind of think, the same. They're kind of on the same sentiment about the epidemic. I just think that this is more or less, some efforts in depopulation. And unfortunately, I also think that the aid package, which was a pretty big package, I've seen bigger packages before in crisis, but I suspect that the Democrats are probably trying to squeeze something else out of that funding. I would not be surprised, because you're living in the twilight zone when Gavin Newsom actually says that everything that he could have hoped for, from the president actually came down in, him addressing, the Princess Cruise ship, and, the way he responded. But yet, of course, you still have the mainstream media arms, that the Don Lemons, that just want to keep gaslighting, and oh, he's president, he just keeps giving out misinformation. And he had John Kasich on, and he's just going to town, going off about what the president said in his address to the nation. And that's what they do all the time. They have no. I'm going to try to bring you that. Is what I'd like to do. I'd like to try to bring you that clip here. So I hope everybody's doing well, and like I said, always just tag in, chime in wherever you are, where available. I will probably do another test later. I won't do both at the same time on this next round. But I really appreciate everybody for stopping in and being here. Because I think people are starting, I think the pandemonium is actually starting to set in, and that's not the best. Causes a lot of issues when you have something like this. Let's see. So, okay, I want to pull this up for you. So give me just 1 second here. I'm doing this a little bit on the fly, but that's okay. We're in this together. I'm not sure if you've seen this particular clip, but I'd like to bring it to you. Okay. So I'm going to bring it to you in just a second. So just hang tight here. Like I said, if you have any comments, or you'd like to share any information that you have, it's happy to have you to do that. Let's see. Okay. I'm at least going to play it for you, if anything else, if nothing else. So I'll at least play this particular clip for you. Once again, I hope everybody is doing well, and that you are enjoying your Friday. I mean, kind of a unique Friday. Let's see. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play it for you so you can hear this exchange. I mean, it's not going to be, Don Lemon is just absolutely a walking time bomb, but I'm going to go ahead and play it for you.
For tiptoeing around Trump's coronavirus screw.
Actually, let's see. Give me just 1 second. I'd like to find another one here. But yeah, this is going to be Don Lemon and
I don't know if he stuck to the script or not.
Okay, so here we are.
But whatever script he read was wrong, because they've had to clarify it several times. And I just got to say, if the president came out to calm people's fears, he didn't do a good job of it, because they've had to come back and clarify it several times. And this has been going on long enough for them to get it straight. We need straight, accurate information from this president and this administration, and we're not getting it.
I'm going to tell you, first of all, he read it. And somebody that wrote this, look, I don't want to get into that.
Why not? That's why you're here, to talk about the president's address.
Can I finish now?
No, you can't, John, because we're here to talk about the president's. Wait, we're here. I don't want you to go on and deflect and talk about something else, because we're here to talk about the president's address.
Don, He put this thing out because there was some confusion out there. Okay.
Now there's more confusion, John.
And what I'm trying to say to you, Don, we got to move down the road. Looking back doesn't get things fixed.
We're not looking back. The president's address was tonight. That is the newest information with this. Is the president's address.
Look, I thought he did fine. That's what I thought. I thought he had the right tone, and he no longer played around with, we're going to blame Democrats, or forget this stuff. I hope he's trying to move forward because he understands the seriousness of this situation. Now, the fact that they clarified, it isn't unusual in a speech for somebody to clarify something, okay? But I don't think that the tone he showed tonight takes away from some clarification.
The credulous boomer rube demo that backs Donald Trump, that wants to think that Donald Trump's a smart one, and y'all elitists are dumb.
You elitists with your geography and your maps and your spelling, even though my
math and your reading.
Yeah, you're reading. You know, your geography, knowing other countries, sipping your latte.
All those lines on the map.
Only them elitists know where Ukraine is.
You don't have to show respect for that kind of person. Here, let me show you what I would have done.
You don't have to.
Let me show you. I want to show you something.
We don't
Let me show
have
you what
Okay, so sorry, that particular one got into a bit of a medley of Don Lemon's buffoonery. I mean, honestly, at this point, I really don't know how anybody can watch CNN. It's more. I think a talk show is, a talk show is giving them a little bit too much credibility. It's like it's not a professional network at this point. I mean, I've heard everything from the UT, and that would be Uncle Tom. I've heard that blasted.
I don't know if he stuck to the script
Hang on
or
just
not.
a second here. I've heard that blasted,
But
amongst.
Whatever
Hang on a second here.
was wrong because they've had to clarify it several times. And I just got to say, if the president came out to calm people's...
So it looks like they're getting back on target here.
He didn't do a good job of it because they've had to come and clarify it several times. And this has been going on long enough for them to get it straight.
Okay. I'm actually going to end that. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties here, guys. But yeah, as you can see,
we need straight, accurate information from
Don
this
Lemon
president.
is really not the, he's a very poor representation. Hi, nothing edited. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Here, hang on just one second. I think I know where the issue is. Let's see. Apologize for that, guys. It's
He read it, and somebody that wrote this. Look, I don't want to get in. Was on
Why
today.
not? That's why.
Can I finish now?
No,
Let me talk.
You
Let me
can't.
talk.
Because we're here to talk
Oh,
about
I
the
can't
president's.
talk?
Wait, we're here. I don't want you to go.
So there's actually a bit of buffering on their end, so I'm going to just
Go
go
on.
ahead and squash this one here.
Because we're
But you
here
kind of get the
to
gist
talk
here.
about the president's
You kind of get the gist.
address.
Don. He put the.
You get the gist of where Don Lemon is going, and where Don Lemon stays in the same. He stays in the same zone all the time. Hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump. It's just. Yeah, nothing edit. Nice to have you here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're here, this is Nothing Edited. She's a great YouTuber, and nice to have her here. If you guys are interested in connecting with anybody here, I'm happy to do that. This is not necessarily a networking site, but I'm happy to have kindred spirits here and people that are just here to to balance out whatever they may be, their discussions, and not to shut anybody down. So hi, Lady Liberty. Good morning. So yeah, so what we're talking about here, if you're just now joining us, we're talking about, is the U.S. ready to end capitalism? Is what we're seeing a warning? Is this pandemic, which we are kind of avoiding, trying to avoid mentioning the actual name of this pandemic, is this basically a warning as to what could happen if, is this our warning? Could this be the beginning of, how the opposite side would save the day, entering your Green New Deals and all of these things where we're actually standing in bread lines and, like I said, this is not to gaslight or to actually fear mongering. It's just that, it's more of an awareness thing or a preparedness thing. I think a lot of people think of our country, like I've said before, in a very ahistorical kind of way. They think that things cannot happen here, but I think this is I don't think there's a precedence for what's going on right now. We've never had a pandemic to potentially shut down the corridors or the interiors of the country. I mean, we're shutting down on the outside. We're not having anybody in many ways, and we're also grounding a lot of our air travel. And I'm just thinking, is it possible that our states, that some of these same kinds of shutdowns could happen in our states? Are we prepared for 4 weeks of a quarantine, and how would you do that? I will say that even though I do think that it's been gaslighted quite a bit, the panic and the pandemonium have been lit by the actual media, but I did succumb to some of it. So I just said, you know what? I'll buy a few things. I actually bought looks like there's nothing showing there right now. I actually bought a mask. I bought some non-perishable kinds of items. And I mean, I didn't do the whole. I did buy one extra pack of like paper products, but I didn't clean the shelves out. I didn't do that, but I'm just wanting to hear from everybody else. What's happening in New York neck of the woods. I'm actually on the left coast, the West Coast. My governor happens to be Gavin Newsom. So I'm just trying to, it's nice to have a perspective of what's going on overall. So I'm just gonna read some comments here, guys. Thanks for coming in. I did get the good morning from Lady Liberty. Good morning to everybody. And then you says, I think this is the practice round for a bigger, more serious, quote, disease in the future. Quote, be prepared, not scared. Excellent. I love it. I couldn't have said it better, Lady Liberty. I really couldn't have said that better. A lot of people just get all, well, nobody's turning off electricity and, but nobody's saying that. But I'm saying, but could you survive? Do you have water? Do you have vitamins? Do you have leafy greens? Do you have anything? Maybe not the leafy greens, but are you stocking up on stuff that would sustain you if you were limited to, your house for 4 weeks? I mean, if you have pets and that kind of a thing, I'm just thinking that nobody's going to tell you, you're not going to get like, nobody's going to tell you, when and all these things. It's not going to be laid out to you like that. I think this is taking us all by surprise. So I just think being prepared is a smart thing to do. So I'm reading your comment, nothing edited. I buy in bulk when items are on sale. So I suppose it's a good thing in case it does get real. I like that, nothing edited. I'm thinking that I need to, like my family, when they come to town, like we buy things in bulk. But for me, as a single person, I just usually have just enough stuff for me. But I always try to hang on to their extra stuff. But I think it would probably be better. I could go back to that. I mean, if you just think about, just thinking out loud, you think about all these corporate people, these questionable corporate kind of, organizations like the NBA, these people have canceled their seasons, to me, those kinds of corporations, they don't cancel things unless they know that they're going to rebound they're going to rebound. And to me, Nike and some of these places and their affiliates, NBA, these people already show signs of corporate communism. So I'm just thinking, these people don't shut down their seasons and suspend things if they have no idea where they're going or what the intent is. So to me, this is either a warning or it's a huge gamble. It's a huge flag for people that are not paying attention. So I would just encourage everyone to get prepared. I guess that would be the takeaway. Get prepared in ways that you not fear. I'm not saying stock up on fear. I'm just saying just try to get prepared. I mean, also it made me think about, well, financially, like if you have money like in the bank, or like how would you do if you couldn't access an ATM machine, or what would you do? So I'm just thinking maybe even having some extra cash or something on hand, because it does take manpower. Everything we do takes manpower to run. We do have a lot of electronic, means, but if you're shutting down things, I don't know what our next update will be from the administration, just like the next person, but I would think that whatever we can do to, are we going to come down to, if you're not going to come down to bartering, you're going to need to have as many resources, at your fingertips as possible. So I do appreciate everybody for tuning in to this stream. And of course, I will be doing more streams. The next time I will stick with the StreamYard so that people can actually come on. I may even do it again later today, but I will definitely not have 2 streams going on. Thank you for letting me know that. Patrick Jane Forums, if you're not familiar with him, he is absolutely excellent. He's an excellent person on social, on YouTube. He's excellent for just building morale and just supporting people overall. So I really appreciate for him for letting me know that I had 2 streams going on. So if you're trying to build your channel, Patrick Jane Forums, Killer Whale is definitely somebody you might want to connect with. Okay, so I'm reading your comment here. Nothing edited. The only real thing that has happened in my city is that the power company forced everyone to have smart meters installed. We had no choice. Well, that's interesting. When you say, I don't know, I'm not sure if I don't know if I've ever heard of a smart meter. But I would imagine that it's probably run off of, some type of, network or something. Yeah. So of course I'm wishing everybody. Okay, so I'm going back. I'm sorry, I'm jumping back over. I missed this one. Lady Liberty, sorry I missed your comment. You said a family of 5 here, so we always buy in bulk. I live in a very rural area in Tennessee, and in several surrounding towns, there's no toilet paper to be found. Made me glad I always buy the big packs. See, there you go. Like, even if you're not, if you haven't succumbed to pandemonium, you have to deal with the effects of the people that have, whether they're buying, they've bought everything and cleared off the shelves. I think I saw some grocery stores where they've kind of cleared the stores, cleared if you're, I guess, cheese. They cleared all the cheese off of the deli racks and stuff. So let's see. Okay, nothing edited. The larger city is running out of everything. Yeah, you're right. And even Amazon, I had some friends from the Southeast. I do have deep South roots, by the way. And some of my friends were saying that they were out of Lysol wipes. And I think just for kicks, I went on to Amazon to see if there were any Lysol wipes, and they were out. Even Office Depot, like just about, even the, your online venues are out of things. So I guess if you can get to a store, if you can find a store that has something that you need, maybe you should get it. I don't want to go back out again today myself, but I might go back out. But yeah, so I really appreciate everybody for coming on, and this is actually, it's nice to hear, perspectives from around the country. And like I said, the next one that I do, I will do the same thing, but I just won't run it I won't run it directly through YouTube. It'll just come directly from StreamYard. And also, just FYI, if anybody is interested in just joining me generally, there is a Black Spring with Autumn at Gmail, so you can always email me there if you would like to do something together on a live stream that's more formal or more structured, or if you want to do an actual if you want to co-host with me, I'm always interested in doing that. I see I'm reading more comments here. This is from Nothing Edited. I was in town on Monday and they had toilet paper and paper towels on sale and stocked full. By Thursday, people were saying the shelves are bare. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure. Like, I know some of the schools, I know some of the schools have closed in certain states. I don't know if, I'm wondering if the schools are even absorbing some of that paper, and paper towel. Because I don't know if you guys, like some of the schools, like when I was growing up, or they still do it in some schools, they say, oh, we need all the parents to bring paper towels and wipes and things like that, which is a clear form of socialism, because sometimes you'll have kids that, oh, we're just doing it for the kids that don't. They won't tell you, we're just doing it for the kids. We're doing it for everybody, so that we make sure everybody has wipes and everybody has paper towel. But it's actually a form of socialism, because you have some kids that, their parents don't bring anything in for the class. They don't contribute to the community collection of wipes and sanitizer and paper towel. But to me, that's some of the first forms of socialism that I've ever seen. And somebody else told me about it. I was just saying, I never thought about it like that. Because, my parents weren't wealthy and they managed to bring in things. But then everybody's parents don't contribute to, the paper towels and sanitizer and hand wipes. And to me, this is probably no exception. So I'm wondering if some of the schools have actually, the ones that are still open, if they, kind of got into that rush. It didn't occur to me until just then, but I guess everyone should just be safe out there. And I don't know if you have elderly people around you. I don't know, maybe look in on them, because it does seem like, unfortunately, the situation might even be targeting some of them. And I appreciate everybody for coming in. Let's see, I have something else here. Spring break here, so kids are out of school all week. Yeah, it's so funny. This is coming at a tough time. Like for many industries, for travel, for graduation, spring break, and all that. See, I'm reading your comment. Nothing edited. School supplies have been like that since the 80s. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, people bringing in tons of things. Like and then at the end of the year, there would be so much. Like some teachers would just have tons. Like it's almost like some teachers would never run out, because they just had so many supplies. So many supplies that were donated, by the parents in the schools. So, yep, I appreciate everybody for being here. Yes, like I may do another live stream later, and that will be on the StreamYard. So if you have anything, if you want to hop on to a panel, I'm not sure if you can do StreamYard with your phone. You might be able to jump on with a phone, or I'm not sure if you need to be at a desktop. Let's see. Okay, Lady Liberty says, yeah, this is another great time. I'm thankful that I homeschool. That's excellent. Keeps my grandmother, who I am an in-home caregiver for, a lot safer. Wow. Yeah, well, I'm sure that is much better, and I'm sure you get to have more time, and you can monitor things. You can monitor the environment a lot better than you would if you had it, if it was in somebody else's hands. yeah, I have to look in on grandparents and that kind of a thing myself. Yeah, so that's good for you. It's nice to see that people are homeschooling, because we have a lot of craziness going on with the public schools, and of course drag queen story time. I mean, like right now, I personally, I don't have any children, but I do think that I would not be interested in having my kids go to public school. I'm actually an educator myself. I'm not teaching full time public school. I taught public school for 3 years, and certainly, things have changed. Things were changing all the time, but it's just not. The kids are different, because of the society that the society that we're in. All these, the whole agendas, the liberal agendas, and the progressives, and the kids can't even read a fairy tale anymore without putting the rose-colored glasses on. You can't just have Cinderella. You got to have Cinderella dressed as a child, a child of the opposite sex, or you got to have, a utopia, a utopian Cinderella, or a utopian, Sleeping Beauty. You can't just teach anything in any kind of pure form. It's got to be spun off into this other order of things that they want to push on the kids. But like I said, I did another video on that previously about the 1960s and how the Frankfurt School basically took over the American school. So nothing edited. This was awesome. Glad to see you. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you were able to jump on, and I absolutely loved your stream earlier. Every time I can get on your stream, even if it's just for a couple of minutes, it makes a huge difference, and it's just nice to talk to real people, and real Americans, and real people that that love their independence, and love who they are, and they love the country. There are people that still love this country, and they are willing to to defend it and arm themselves with people, with knowledge, like room for knowledge. I think people have kind of gotten away from that. Their beliefs take over everything, so they don't really have any room for knowledge. But I assume that I can learn something from everybody, and I think that's where I am on this channel. So I'm always happy to have people contribute, bring another perspective to the table, some balance. So here I'm going to read. Sorry guys, I see you said zero respect, nothing edited. Right. Lady Liberty speaks. We've been homeschooling for 4 years now. We love it. Nothing edited. We call it Rainbow Bright Syndrome. That's nice. That's a new one. Let's see. Lady Liberty speaks. My girls are in 6th and 8th grade this year. Next year, I'll have a high schooler. Scary, lol. Thanks for the stream. Always love to catch you live. I really appreciate that, Lady Liberty speaks. And I always try to catch you, whether you're vlogging or whether you're streaming or whatever. And I'll continue to do that because, the thing about YouTube, it's actually a community. And the more I open myself to other people's streams, and whether other patriot streams or other, people that just want to, it is a community, and, we support each other, and we support, we know we have values. We know enough to know that we have values. Let's see, here we go. Nothing edited. I thank you for showing myself and everyone in my chats with kindness and respect, as it should be. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like I said, you guys are teaching me a lot. I mean, I'm not from, I love to learn, new things about other parts of the country or other states. I mean, there's cultural things that are very unique. We have a unique, the U.S. is very unique in different regions of the country, and I always enjoy, just down to earth, and people just kind of leaving, like, I have a birthday this month, and I'm learning to leave less on the table myself, because I find that people kind of take your kindness, or they take you not saying a lot for weakness. And I'm just, to me, it's liberating to not leave that on the table, and you still walk away self-preserved and with your self-respect. So I really appreciate that from you, from watching your channel. And yeah, I appreciate that. So it's just, I thank you for showing myself. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody. And if you're around later, I don't know. I am on the left coast, so it's still pretty early in the morning, but I'll be around. I'll probably come around later today, and it will be through the StreamYard. So if anybody wants to show their face, or just comment again, I'll be happy to have you around. And here one more time, shout outs for Lady Liberty Speaks. She's very inspiring. I've seen her, I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, Lady Liberty, I do think around the time of the, like, I think when the Second Amendment was running hot, the issues there, like some of the rallies and things, I think I remember seeing you. I caught one of your vlogs on the way there, so I think that's very admirable. And I'm trying to get my own skills, get my skills up, and kind of diversify my own little training myself. And so I really appreciate it. That was very inspiring to see you going there. I mean, I'd like to do more things like that. Sometimes when I'm learning new things, I kind of stand alone, but I think I'm good to do that. But it's also nice to stand with other people that have, same values, that, that respect the Second Amendment, and are willing to, to speak up about it and say, hey, we're not gonna, we do have power as people, and we're going to assert that power, whether we're in the voting booth, or whether we're just attending a rally, or whether we're saying, you're out of you're beyond your oath of office, and you can't violate us on that level. So, see, I'm reading this one. This is, you have been doing great ever since you started. I'm very much enjoyed following your journey. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's on the 25th, and I'm not sure maybe I'll be around. I'll probably be around on the 25th. I did find a mobile app that I can do live streaming on, so I'll be around somewhere. And it's enough and edited. It says, have a blessed day. I may do another live, not sure. I just go live when I want to, no set time. Very cool. And I'm sure I'll probably jump right in and see what's going on. So it says, Lady Liberty Speaks, checking your house out right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. Patrick Forums, aka Killer Whale, if you're trying to grow your channel, this and that, that's a great, solid resource. I call him a Rembrandt. I think he's got a heart of gold, and he's also great for support. And nice to see, everybody come together and growing on here. And I'll be doing more of these, of course, with videos, but definitely trying to gain, in the YouTube ecosystem. I need to add these, what do they call it, watch hours. So I think I'm pretty behind. If you guys could also hit that like button, the subscribe bell, if you can do all of that, it kind of helps with the suppression, because I worry sometimes, about, being able to survive on this channel, and being able, like many other conservatives, and I'm a conservative that happens to be black, which, if nobody noticed, not really, not playing the race card, but I'm sure I've suffered some shadow banning before, and I'll probably suffer some more, because this channel is, we deal with some provocative things on here, things that people don't talk about. But I'm willing to do that, because I think we're in this thing together. So it's nice meeting you, Nothing Edited, and I will see you guys later, and have a good rest of the day and great weekend if I don't see you on the next live stream today. Take care.